But the bottom line is you gotta do something and you gotta be totally okay with it not working out. I know it's not easy.
This is the How to Quit Working Show. Jeff Steinman believes entrepreneurship is the only true path to freedom. That's why he created the How to Quit Working Show, where you'll hear stories, insights, and inspiration from lifestyle fanatics who left their soul-sucking 9-to-5 job forever. Now, here's your host, author, entrepreneur, and ultimate lifestyle fanatic, Jeff Steinman.
Hello and welcome to the How to Quit Working Show. Today we're going to talk about what is ironically one of the hardest things to do when you're starting a business or starting anything for that matter, and that is getting started. Today we're going to talk about one of the most difficult and one of the most critical, if not the most critical, steps in accomplishing something, and that is getting started. So we're going to have a great show with lots of great information about that coming up. But before we do that, I just want to remind you about the How to Quit Working Circle. Now that's where lots of people have gone to get information, a community, and free training about how to quit your job and start a business. It's a great place to go. I love seeing folks over there in the free group on Facebook. You can get all of that over at howtoquitworking.com/circle. It's all free, and I look forward to seeing you there. Definitely jump over there and take advantage of that very valuable and free offer at howtoquitworking.com/circle. Now let's talk a little bit about how to get started. I hear a lot of different things from a lot of different folks who listen to the show and email me or contact me through Facebook or whatever. And there are certain themes, and I try to take the things that I hear, particularly the things that I hear consistently over and over and over again, and make them into episodes. And this is one of the most common themes that I hear, and that is, how do you get started? And it's simple and it's complex all at the same time. And you know, one of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is that there is not a right or a wrong way, a good way or a bad way. There's only trying things. There's just trying different things to see what works. And I think one of the biggest things that holds people back from actually getting started is this thought in your head that maybe this thing that I'm thinking about doing, or the way that I'm thinking about doing, or the people I'm doing it with, or any aspect of it, maybe it's not right. And the thing that I want to just be really clear about is, you know what? Frankly, it's probably not right. The first thing that you do, when you step out of the gate, it's probably not going to be the right thing. It's probably not going to work the way that you expect it to. But what separates successful people from everybody else is that the successful people do the thing. They do the thing, and for them, it's probably not right either, but they took the step. They had the courage and they had the dedication and the wherewithal to take the step and deal with it. So let's just start with, I like to give you some really tactical steps here. So the first thing to do is to identify what that first step is. And if you think you don't know what it is, because I hear that a lot too, like, I don't know what I should do. Well, if you think you don't know what it is, there's a couple of things going on. Either number one, you simply it's just another way of stating the initial, what is probably holding you back, which is the fear that it's not going to work. But we already established that it's probably not going to work anyway. So just get past that. Get past that I don't know what to do. Because one of the beauties of taking a step forward is that you are going to learn a ton of stuff from taking that forward step. You're going to learn a lot from it. You're going to learn that, okay, maybe I didn't take that step, but now I know that if I'd have gone over here, it would have worked more like I wanted it to. So forget about that I don't know what to do, or I don't know if this is right or not. Just take the step. And it's important that you just take action, and taking action is such an extremely good learning experience. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second here. In our world, we tend to think very highly of education. We think very highly of learning things, and nobody ever beats you up and says, boy, that was really stupid that you went out and learned that new thing, right? We value education and we value learning very highly. Now, I do think that, I know that what we've done in our world is that we have accelerated, or we have elevated our value of learning higher than our value of doing. And I think that's a really, really huge problem in this world. So that first step that you take cannot be learning. Learning is not taking steps. Learning is not progress forward. And that's not to say, oh, Jeff is anti-learning. No, I'm actually very pro-learning, because the way that you learn the most, the fastest, is by doing. Do stuff and learn from it. That is the entire theme of everything that we talk about here at How to Quit Working. Is it's all about do something and then learn from it, and then do something better the next time, something more effective, something that makes you more progress and gets you closer to where you want to go. It's all about doing. It's not about learning. It is about learning, but it's about learning through doing. So when we talk about taking that first step, this whole little tangent that I went off on was all about really saying, no, that first step isn't go research XYZ on Google. It's not go read a book about this. It's go do something and be totally fine with the fact that it's probably not going to work. And the second time and the third time and the fourth time and the fifth time that you do things, you will get better and better and better results, and you will get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter as you go along. So that's why you've got to, number one, identify that thing that you should be doing first. And if you think you don't know what it is, that's probably just BS. I don't buy it. Just pick something and do it. Take that action, because it's going to get you huge, huge results, huge educational results, and huge moving forward results. And again, remember, moving forward is actually not even a good expression or a good way of putting it, because really moving forward sometimes is moving backwards. Sometimes moving backwards is moving forward, because it's giving you the information and the lessons that you needed to learn along the way. So number one, figure out what that first thing is that you need to do. Number two, do that thing. Just do it. Just go and do that thing. And if doing that thing scares you, then hey, it's probably a really good thing to do. And you're probably going to learn a heck of a lot from it. If it is scary, it is probably going to be a very transformational experience for you to actually do that thing. So, one of the ways to get past the fear, and it's critical that you get past the fear. You absolutely have to, because you will never create or do anything big without doing things that are scary. So one of the best ways to get past that fear is to really just step back and look at, okay, excuse me, what actually is going to happen? What are the horrible things that I'm making up in my head that are going to happen if I do this thing and it works or it doesn't work, or whatever it is that you think or don't think is going to happen? Think about, and maybe even write down, those terrible, horrible things that you are so extremely worried about. And when you see that list, you're likely going to see things like, I would almost bet, I know the folks that listen to this show so well, I would almost bet that towards the top of that list, there is something about embarrassment or shame. There is something about, well, if I ask this person to buy my product, or if I ask this person to partner with me, or I ask this person to sell my product, or whatever the heck it may be, they might say no, and that would be an absolutely, completely devastating humiliation. And when you really actually write it down and you really look at, well, what does that actually mean when that person says no to me? It just means that they said no. It doesn't mean that you're a horrible person. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be successful, and those are probably the things that are running through your head. It just means that that person said no. And and I address that specific one about embarrassment or shame because I know it's probably towards the top of your list of concerns. You're probably not really worried that the step that you're going to take is going to kill you or that it's going to injure somebody because that's extremely unlikely, and if that's the case, maybe that's not a good step. But the resistance that you have to doing it is probably related to embarrassment or shame or that awful feeling of this has to work. I could do a whole nother show on that, but we always have this thought of if this doesn't work, I'm through. I'll never be successful. I'll never make it. I'll never pay the bills. I'll never be able to leave my job. I'll never be able to whatever it is that you want to do. And that's also completely false because the reality of it is everybody who has ever done anything took a step that didn't work. They probably took about 100 steps that didn't work. So it doesn't kill you. It is not your only chance. If you're in your mind thinking, this is my only chance, this is my last chance to make this work, and it's another one that I hear a lot, that's just BS. I mean, you just made that up. Like, where does that even come from? Where does it even come from, this is my last chance to make it work? What even makes you think that that's the case? Like, that's the great thing about life and living in this world is we get to walk around and do whatever we want to do. For the most part, obviously, there's rules and laws and stuff, and we have our own ethical values that keep us from doing certain things, but that's really a pretty small sliver of things when you look at the grand scheme of all of the different things that you could actually do, right? There's a ton of different things that you can actually do. So the thought that this is your last chance, or if this doesn't work, then you're through, is probably just a lie that is not helping you, it's not serving you, it is not taking you to where you want to go. So just forget about that. So again, step number 1, identify that next step that you need to take. Step number 2, take the freaking step. Do the freaking thing. Just do it and get over all that crap that's going on in your head about it. And number 3, learn from that thing that you just did. I don't know if anybody else in this that does this sort of thing like I do actually comes right out and says this, but yeah, whatever that thing is that you're getting ready to do, it's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work at the very least the way that you think it's going to work. It might work terribly. There is an off chance that it might work wonderfully, who knows, but in all likelihood, it is going to be something that is going to make you step back and say one of two things. It's either going to make you say, oh my God, this is awful, it's horrible, I'm a failure, it's never going to work, I might as well just give up. That would not be a good answer to give. But the other thing that it may also make you say is, oh wow, look what I discovered from having done this thing. Look what doing this thing taught me. Look how if I just did it a little bit differently the next time, I would get a whole completely different result. And then you'll do it again, and then you'll screw something up that time too, and that's also okay, because then you're going to be like, oh look, I just need to do this differently and move it in this direction, and then I will go off this way. And this is really the beauty and the magic of creating stuff in this world. I mean, I honestly wish there was an easier way. I really do, because this is what I do with my life every single day, just like you. I mean, I'm just out there trying to figure this crap out. Like, what am I supposed to do? Go over here. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try over here. Let's tweak this. Let's move this around. Let's see if that works. That's all anybody is doing in this world. That is all that any person is doing in this world. We're all working on very different things. We're working on things that some have a large amount of exposure and some have a very small amount of exposure. Some things maybe are just happening in your head. You're just trying to figure out how to think and how to live life and how to be a happy person. But that's all any of us are doing, is we're just trying things and looking at the result that we get and saying, okay, well, maybe I should do it a little differently next time. Or maybe you're saying, okay, well, that worked pretty well, so let's do that a little bit more. And maybe let's tweak it, change it a little bit. But the important thing is that you've got to recognize that there's just no other way to get stuff done. And I'm really sorry to be the bearer of that news, but you gotta go out and figure out what that step is, and you gotta take it, and you gotta recognize that it's probably not gonna work out the way you wanted it to, and then you gotta just learn from it and figure out how to move forward. Now, where the real magic comes in, and I have not mastered this, I have certainly gotten better at it, but I certainly would not say I've mastered it. But it is completely within the realm of what we as humans are capable of to actually get excited when things don't work out, and get excited because of the progress that we have made, because of what we have learned from that thing not working out. So if you figured that out, please tell me how you figured it out. I have personally improved in that arena, but not gotten to that point of actually being excited about failure or things not working out. But I do believe it is possible, and it is a very, very worthwhile goal to strive for, to be able to say, you know what, that didn't work out, and I learned a ton from that, and I am so excited about it. But the bottom line is, you gotta do something, and you gotta be totally okay with it not working out. I know it's not easy. Believe me, like I said, I live this every single day. I know it's not easy, but I hope that the information that I bring you here on the How to Quit Working show will help to make your journey a little bit easier, or at least help you to know that there are other people out there who are just trying to figure this darn thing called life out, just like you are. And if you'd like to work directly with me and work together on your goals and have someone to show you the way to make progress and to be there to support and encourage you, as well as help you figure out what are those things going on in your head, because you can listen to these shows all day long, but where we can make really big progress is when we can actually have a back and forth conversation directly about what are the things that are holding you back, and what are the things that you're telling yourself that are probably not true, but because you think they're true, you keep taking them for granted. And that's really where the magic of coaching comes in. So if you're interested in that, go over to howtoquitworking.com/coaching and provide me with a little bit of information, and I would love to have a conversation with you about whether that might be something that would be beneficial for you or not. I do not rely on revenue from coaching to pay my bills, or to power these lights, or to pay for the camera, or to do anything for that matter, because I believe that is important. I believe it is very important when you are coaching someone and you're in that sort of a relationship that you were doing it because it was something that you truly feel is the right thing to do, and you truly feel like it is a connection that was made and a connection that was meant to be, and super, super excited about helping that person to make progress. So a little bit about how I think about coaching. Also, if you are not ready for something like that and you'd like to just dip your toe in, head over to howtoquitworking.com/kickstart and get more information on the How to Quit Working Kickstart program, where you get more information about a specific process actually to move through that trial and error process of starting a business. And that is what we focus on in Kickstart. That is an inexpensive program. It is less than $100, and you can get more information about that over at howtoquitworking.com/kickstart. I look forward to seeing you in Kickstart, maybe in coaching, or maybe next time on the How to Quit Working show.
Thanks for joining us on the How to Quit Working show. Tune in next time when we'll talk to another amazing person just like you, who is now living the ultimate life of freedom and doing it on their terms. If you want to learn how to quit working and get these episodes delivered directly to you, visit howtoquitworkingshow.com.